Well, folks, in today's video, I'm going to be trying to do something a little bit different and completely random. I'm going to be trying to build an entire engine of my own design right out of my Locomotive junk bin. Now, over the years, I've accumulated a ton of lots and have just got tons of odds and ends, motors, wheels, things like that. And there's a pretty decent amount of stuff in the Locomotive graveyard now, so I'm gonna bet that there's enough stuff in there that we can build an entire locomotive. So we're gonna try to do that today. It's not gonna be at all realistic, it's probably not gonna be pretty, but I think it'd be a lot of fun to see if we can build an engine that at least runs. So let's see what we can do. So this right here is my Locomotive junk bin. As you can see, I've just got tons of kind of spare parts and broken up stuff in here, but you can see there's a relative amount of stuff. So what we're going to be looking for today is we're going to need a motor, so that'll be our power source. We're going to need some way to pick up power. We're going to obviously need some wheels and some sort of transmission. So we're going to go through here and see what we can find. We do have a ton of spare parts because some of these things may have one part but not another, so those are also options. So we'll go through here. As you can see, we've actually got almost a complete locomotive body right there, but it doesn't have any wheels, so that won't work. But it does have a motor we could take. And we've got a spare motor right here. I believe that one works. Wheels somewhere in here. Yeah, we've got some wheels. Not all the stuff's compatible, but we'll look through and see if we can find some stuff. This piece right here appears to have a complete truck, and it's geared. So we've got a transmission. But this does not connect to any motor, so we don't have a power source. However, if you look in there very, very carefully, there are also contacts. So this can do two jobs. It can pick up power, and it can also run the energy down to the tracks. So I believe this is going to be the core of our project. Got quite a few choices for motors as well. Of course, we've got the motor on that engine, but we also have this small motor and this Athearn motor. I think in this case I'm going to go with this small motor simply because it's a little bit more compact. Also, I believe this is a 3-pole motor versus this Athearn one, which is a 5-pole. And we're building something sort of silly, and 3-pole motors put out more speed than torque, so this might be our motor of choice. It's still relatively powerful though, since RSO put quite powerful magnets on these things, so it will still have enough torque for our project. The first thing we need to do is get this truck out of the body here. This should be pretty simple. I believe this is a tab which just simply comes up, and then once you remove that, I don't know. Oh, there we go. So there's the thing that holds the truck in, and now that pops right out. Now we've got some stuff to work with. Just gonna clip this wire back a bit. I don't think we're gonna need the entire length, so we'll just cut that back. And there we go. Now, what we need to do is easy. We just need to figure out a way so we can get power to the motor, and then we can distribute the energy coming out of here into the gearbox so it can go down to the wheels and power our engine. So that should be interesting. To take these pieces off, they're usually just pressure fit. So if you have a screwdriver or something, you can kind of wiggle it under there and it will pry right up like so. So now we just need to figure out how to get that done. Fortunately, upon closer inspection, I discovered that this thing has tabs on one side but not the other. So back to the parts bin. Of course, tons of these things have tabs we can use, although they're not all in great shape. So I'll have to see here. That's not too bad right there, actually. That might be our part of choice. Actually, that one's even better. Let's go for that. So now I need to install these new tabs. First of all, we need something to, of course, wire it to. So we're going to take actually the wire I trimmed off of the Locomotive earlier, and we're going to just tie that up. It's already got some solder on it right there, and the tab already has solder on it. So this should be very easy. And they are now one. To hold the tab in place, we'll use our universal bonding agent. And we just need to basically slide the wheels over so we can get the tabs in. So you got the tab there. some hot glue over that. Now we just let that set for a while, and it should work. Alright, so now that the hot glue is set, we're going to wire it up to the motor. Now I believe the best way to build this whole contraption would be to have it on the back here, like so, which means we'll have to have a wire from each of the tabs going to one side of the motor. Doesn't matter which way you wire them up, it will only make the direction of the locomotive different. So we'll just lean that against something, and we'll solder one tab on one side and one on the other. Alright, so we've got the locomotive wired up now, so next what we have to do is figure out a way to connect the motor to the transmission. This should be interesting. Don't do this at home or at a friend's house. That looks very sketchy. There's gotta be something in here that will act as a weight. That's way too valuable. This isn't even supposed to be in here. I believe this was once part of a 9-volt battery. So first problems first, let's put some of our universal bonding agent on the bottom of this engine here, and we'll secure the motor down. That way it will hopefully stay somewhat even, otherwise this thing is just going to come apart in a matter of seconds. So we'll let that dry. And on this side we'll mount the battery somewhere around here. That seems good enough. Actually, if we put it like this, then we can access the coupler. So that should be good. Let's put this on here like so. Yes. That will be good. I feel like the motor and battery are both on each end. And if we just put a bit of extra tension, that will kind of help the situation. Well, our fantastic new locomotive is complete. I think it's looking really good. I'd give it about an 11% chance of working, but hey, we won't know until we find out. Okay, here's the moment of truth. We're going to switch her over to DC, and nothing. Oh, I forgot to turn power on. Well, something in there is not working. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but when I turn this thing, there's some arcing in the commutator. So I believe this thing is getting power, but this thing is too large and it's preventing this all from turning. Took the motor off. It does turn, but, well, it's definitely not very powerful, and there's evidently something wrong with the commutator. It keeps arcing. I don't know, it's some weird stuff. Well, I've tried a whole bunch of stuff now. The motor's not even responding, so I think unfortunately one of the brushes has gone bad, and the reason I think it went bad is because someone at some point lubricated the commutator on this locomotive, or motor I should say. Anyway, so I guess that won't work.